Welcome to the new home of SurvivorsCircle. We actually intended to carry all the other old channels that we had been broadcasting on Facebook, and I was going to carry over Ron's, but technical difficulties have kept me from being able to do that. And technical difficulties are sound off. Can I do that? Mute. That's ridiculous. How am I going to do this? Oops. That's ridiculous. How am I going to do this? Oops. That shouldn't be doing that. Doesn't never did it before. Why not? Why is it doing that now? Okay. Monitoring to turn that off. Turn to that. Monitoring to turn that off. Turn to that. Why is that doing that? Why is it coming back through that channel? That's 1 and 2. Why is that doing that? I'm not going to
You've
put
got
it.
Mixler on. Is that what that is?
Yes. Not anymore. It's gone.
Sorry.
Yes. Not anymore. It's gone. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties, new platform. Everything is going crazy. And I'm getting feedback. Sorry, folks. Okay. Now that that's gone,
What about your headphones?
Let's wait till that. I didn't do that until I moved over to see if Mixler's dead. Okay, apparently it is. The YouTube channel. The YouTube channel may be feeding it through. Because I don't have that.
Mine's muted. Or my YouTube's muted.
Mine is too now. So it was apparently the YouTube channel all along. So I switched out. Anyway, welcome, folks. If you're looking for professionalism, you're not going to find it from me.
Not happening here.
Yes. All these different possibilities and settings. No, Ron, it wasn't the Mixler that was the problem. I thought it was. Okay. Anyway, we'll just have not get that one today. How are you doing today, Maria? I'm
good. I'm home.
Beyond
from work.
That's always good.
It's always good.
I think I wanted to talk about something today. We had a conversation about, and it's a constant theme that's going on these days, and it's been going on for something like the last 60 years. That the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and everything's it's all going to be over soon. And there are always things that are popping up that seem to be the sky, but I've listened to the sky is falling so long, from so many different reasons. The bombs, get under your desk, the bomb's going to fall on us. Oh my God, it's I'm old enough to remember when they said, there could be a new ice age coming. It's about time. We're late. It's Yellowstone. Yellowstone could erupt any moment.
Well, that was the 90s, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
They came out with that movie. Yeah.
Oh, the
That was
The
pretty
one where
fun. I like that
everything
movie.
froze up. Was
Hmm.
that was the Art Bell and Whitley Strieber movie? What was the name of that thing? Can't remember. Somebody
Um,
help us.
wasn't 2012. That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the perfect. It wasn't the one. I don't. The one I'm thinking about where everything froze over had. Was it? Was it Harrison Ford? No.
No, I don't think Harrison Ford did one of those. Mm.
It was where all these hurricanes that formed up in the Arctic and they come down and
Yes. Yep.
was that. Oh, Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges was that he the dad that.
Yeah, I think he was the guy that fell through the roof off the out of the ice. And yeah, that seems to match a picture I got there.
Oh yeah, like
Was it
Goofy said, right after Mount St. Helens blew, they
Yellowstone was next? Sure. Well,
mm-hmm.
Mount St. Helens was
What are the 80s?
85, maybe.
No, I wasn't in high school yet. I don't
Oh,
think.
okay.
82,
But anyway,
83.
I'm done with it. I don't need any more. I don't need any. And the aliens are landing tomorrow on every city in the on the globe, and they're going to take over. They're just going to jump out with their ray guns, and it's going to be like Mars attacks, and they're going to kill us all and
God, that was a
eat us
funny
for
movie.
lunch. I just, I no, I am.
Just throw water on them. They'll
I hate to think that
just
I am an optimist after all these years of preparing for things to get worse, but I am, you know. I want things to get better. I want things to be better. I want next year to be better than the year before. I want, and we can do that. We can do those things. Uh, follow our dreams. You know, somebody dreamed up railroads, and somebody dreamed up steam engines, and somebody dreamed up automobiles, and somebody dreamed up planes, and now we're dreaming up starships and dragons and whatever else we can imagine we can accomplish. You know,
dragons are awesome. Just saying.
I would like to have a dragon,
I'd
but
like a little dragon that will sit on my shoulder and talk shit to everybody.
I want a big
Would that
dragon.
not be cool?
I want a big
Right
dragon
there.
with kind of a safety. What was that one that they had the imaginary dragon in the Disney movie? That was a nice dragon.
Puff the Magic Dragon? No, that wasn't a Disney
No,
movie. That was a
that
song.
was Peter, Paul, and Mary. But
That's the
anyway,
only
yeah,
dragon I know.
I want a nice dragon that I can talk shit to and don't have to worry about it eating somebody by mistake when I kind of said the wrong thing. That's good enough for me. I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want a Terminator dragon. I just want a nice friendly dragon. Right.
I saw something on my way to work and on my way home. I passed this house that has this 10-foot skeleton
Oh
in the
yeah.
front yard, and I
Nice.
want it. And I want to leave it up all year. And I want to put it to where it's like leaning
Oh,
up against my house like
giants.
this.
Giants
Mhm.
exist.
I do.
Here's
I
the
want one.
proof. Yeah. We found this
Yep.
in the bottom of Mammoth Cave.
That's what I need to do. I need to.
And you put it out there, and the Smithsonian truck would pull up in the middle of the night.
It might not be a good idea for anybody to pull up at my house in the middle of the
Probably
night
not. No, probably not.
unannounced. Oops. I don't have a dragon that would eat them by mistake, but coyotes eat a lot.
You're right. I never.
But
So
anyway, yeah. So I've got to win the lottery so I can get my 30-foot Godzilla, fire
yes,
breathing Godzilla
yes.
out here beside my house
I guess
that
you're not going to have it.
screams.
You're not going. It's not going to be available for Halloween this year. That's a
What?
shame.
Oh,
The fire
it's
breathing
heartbreaking.
Godzilla. No, okay. Is that a Mecha Godzilla or regular Godzilla?
Oh, that's Godzilla. And I want that roar. I want that scream. I love the sound that I've always loved the sound that Godzilla makes.
I wonder where they
And
got the sound effect for that.
I don't know, but I bought
Really?
my son a toy Godzilla, and you
Hmm.
just push the button and it screams. And my husband hid the toy
Yeah.
because it wasn't my son hitting the button all the time. It was me.
Mm.
It just it makes me smile. I don't know what it is about it, but it makes me smile. So
Oh,
explosions make me smile too. I
you
like
must. You must
explosions.
love the 4th of July.
No, I don't actually.
Oh, that's not your. That's not your holiday. You like explosions?
Those are fireworks. I don't like
Oh,
those.
that's. Oh, you mean real explosions?
I like
Okay.
explosions.
Destruct,
I like-
destruct, destructive devices. Yes,
yeah,
not just sound. That's
yeah,
so blasé.
yeah. I want to see shit just explode. I know. Out there at work, and it brought back memories, and it that made me smile. That there's a rock quarry not too far from where I
Uh-huh.
work, and every so often a blast will go off. And of course, I mean the earth shakes, and so does the building, and it brings back memories for me from when I was a young kid. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
from the coal
Obviously,
mines.
I know. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I loved it, and it's just I just smile. And if the cloud base is down a little low, it
Hmm.
really I mean, and you can hear it coming before it ever even shakes the building, and I love it.
Nice,
I'm a
nice.
weirdo. I'm a
I'd
weirdo.
okay, but anyway,
So
I
if the
just
world's gonna end,
given
Charles, it needs to be in a lot of explosions to make me
yes,
happy. Just
many,
saying.
many, many.
Just
We will put that in our order.
mhm.
Well, let's
Please
see.
put that in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Ooh, Justin, I wanna know if they do any fracking in your area. There
I think they did something like that once in Louisiana, and they
mhm,
created a hole, and it's now like the size of half a county or something. 10,000 feet deep, with like 200-foot trees are falling in and slithering
mhm.
to the bottom of the of whatever chasm they opened up. I remember that. That was a couple years ago. Wouldn't that be
Was that that was the sinkhole that opened up down
a
there in that swamp,
giant
wasn't it?
sinkhole? Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about it being caused by fracking.
It's still taking stuff in though. I did see
Mhm,
like a follow up on that the other day.
mhm.
I'm trying to. I'm only aware. See, they've done quite a bit of fracking around here, and I only know of one that I really had an opportunity to observe as it went through the stages, and um, there's really not much on the surface to it. They just stuff the pipes full of explosives, 2 miles down, and you don't hardly get any effect on the ground that you notice. So it's no fun. No fun. It's like totally muffled. But then an old dead well
Mhm.
shoots blue a giant blue flame for like 4 days until they can get it back under control and
Mhm.
taking the excess pressure off. So yeah.
I can remember as a kid, the oil well pumps. You know
Hmm.
what I'm talking about? The
Yeah.
seesaw. We used to ride
Seesaw.
those. They didn't have them blocked off, or they weren't
Mhm.
locked away or anything. And our parents didn't know that, but it's fun.
Oh my
Kids,
God.
kids these days don't have as much fun as we did.
Really? Now they surround them with barbed wire and all kinds of things.
Hmm.
Cameras.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad.
Hmm.
You can get into mischief without getting into major trouble, but it's
Well,
fun.
yeah. They're kind of picky about pick stuff anymore.
Yeah, liability. And of course, my dad was the type of person that if you had done something, if you were somewhere where you were not supposed to be, doing something you weren't supposed to do, and if you got hurt
Don't do
doing
that.
it, he wasn't going to sue anybody,
No,
you
no.
know?
Oh no. Oh no. The penalties to pay would be on you or whoever on the due, not or the doer, not the due.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, and that's just the man he was. Of course, like I said, he was a coal mining engineer, and he had to deal with all kinds of people and complaints and stuff. It's like, oh, well, the coal mines are causing this to happen and that to happen, and to
Mhm.
houses that were 20 miles away. And
Oh God,
it was a
yes.
way for people to, I mean, people filed lawsuits
I'm
all the
sure.
time.
I'm sure.
So that's the stuff they had to deal with. But
Oh my,
yeah,
my,
I mean,
my plaster cracked. Yeah.
well, and not only that, they they put fences and high fences, like 8 to 10 foot fences around ponds or lakes or anything like that.
Hmm.
And it says, do not enter, no swimming's allowed, da 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 da, and all this stuff. And there'd be kids that would climb it and go over there to party, and somebody would drown, and the parents would sue the coal mines. Well, you know, hello, we can't help it. Your kid was an idiot, but you can't really say that.
Welcome, Venus. We're glad to see you
Oh,
made
hey,
it.
V's here.
So
See, look there.
yeah,
Stop,
things are
stop stalking the kids, Justin.
it's not fun anymore, I guess. But um, I don't know. Like the it's just as we all admit, it's a different world now, you know. But I miss the old one, you know. I miss that whether we were naive, you know, to think we were safe and immortal, you know. Uh, but we'd go out in the woods and be gone all day, and nobody knew where we were. We didn't know where we were, let alone, you know. But okay, well, we always managed to find our way home, which is amazing. But yeah, miss those days. You know, if if one of the grandkids or even the or the great or heaven forbid the grandkids disappears for 10 minutes, everybody's ready to call out the National Guard. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hmm. It was the good old days. We didn't wear helmets when we rode our bicycles. We didn't. I'm not. I say the good old days. I mean, I know that a lot of people wrecked and had head trauma and stuff, but
Yeah.
I
Well.
didn't wear knee pads when I was riding my bike, or elbow pads or helmet, and I
Mhm.
wrecked, and I've got scrapes and scars and cuts, and I mean, I've got some good scars just from cutting up a chicken in my adult life.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I
It's
don't know. I mean, everything, driving a vehicle.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's just life. Shit happens.
Yeah. I don't. I think it's important for us to when we're doing something to accept the responsibility for ourselves at least to a great deal. Oh, I mean, there are exceptions to the rule if somebody. I'm thinking about somebody does something to roll a big rock down the hill and takes out your house. I suppose they're responsible for that, but hey, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't do that. I did almost do that.
Sue Acme, because it's Wally Coyote's fault.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
that's right. It was. I was coerced because I was watching Roadrunner cartoons.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it always is. That's what
Mm,
it always is.
yep.
And see, this is what you were looking for.
Where's the kaboom?
How's oh,
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
yes.
I don't know. The world's not going to blow up anytime
It's
soon.
definitely one of my favorites.
Mhm. Yeah. And like you said, it's always the next big catastrophe. It's always the
Mhm.
next big natural disaster that's going to happen. And, if there's ever another huge volcanic eruption, people are going to find out what global warming really is.
Uh,
And it's not what they're thinking it
I guess
is,
it
or
depends.
climate
It
change.
depends.
Excuse
It
me.
depends. Let's see. When the one in the Philippines went off,
Hmm.
didn't they claim that was caused uh, a couple of really bad winters because it was cooling
Oh,
things off too much?
hmm. Well,
So
you didn't hear about it that
some
much.
people say it cools things off. Some people say it heats things up. So, and the truth is, it does both sometimes. But sometimes it just depends.
Well, it's gonna
It's
heat
more
up where it's
complicated than that. Yes.
kind of like exploded because there's lava and there's a lot of hot steam
Mhm.
and some nasty poisonous gases that happen. But I mean, when it goes up into the atmosphere, um, yeah, that's why we don't have it anymore.
Yes. Yes.
They've gotten rid of our. I'm gonna have to put some off on. I'm sitting here scratching myself to death.
Mm.
Something
Oh.
is kind of trying to.
Oh.
Sorry, gotta
Mm.
get the off out because I'm being eaten alive. But anyway,
Carried away by giant mutant mosquitoes.
well, it's not mosquitoes. That's the thing. It's those no-see-ums.
Okay. Bad enough.
Uh, I assume everybody knows what a no-see-um is. But yes, I have a tat. I got 3 Andy on my back. So I didn't know everybody could see that when I bent over. But anyway,
Aha.
Oofy. I hope so, honey. I hope somebody's having a damn good time because it's not me.
Insect or
Mhm, mhm, mhm. It ain't me, sister.
I always wondered what that sounded, how that stuff worked. I guess that now I know.
What, the insect orgies?
Yes,
Mm.
it
Yeah,
just
that's
makes
what happens.
it just makes them too tired to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Other things on their tiny little minds.
Yeah, that's usually what's on all animals' minds. humans included, most of the time. Oh, Andy. No, dear, that's on Ron's butt. Remember, you put it on Ron's butt. So anyway,
That's true. That's true.
yep,
That's true, V.
Andy was the tattoo artist on that one. Yeah.
Only the females do bite.
Hmm.
And then that, oh my gosh. I should be less distracted by
The chat's where
brilliant
it's at,
chat.
baby.
Chat's where it's at. This is true. This is true. If it weren't for chat, we just wouldn't know what to say.
This is true.
I know. I've given up on the news lately. I used to be a total news junkie, and now it's become just such a shit show. I mean, it just has, you know. And you can.
Trust me, I
and
know.
And
You
the,
used to be
the really
consumed by
really
that.
bad thing is, it doesn't. None of it matters. None of it really matters. You know, it's just a distraction, and it's not going to change what I'm going to do tomorrow or next week or ever, probably. You know, so it's a waste. It's a waste of my time, and I'm finally at this late date. I'm learning that it's just a waste of my time. So I'm going to spend my time doing fun things.
Oh, that's not the one I wanted to show. It was this one. Some of the underground stuff, if I'm in the mood for news. Some of that underground stuff is awesome stuff, and it's never going to be anything that the major media outlets are going to cover because it'd be the truth, and they're not going to do that. They're going to spew their narrative.
Oh, I I think that had I came up with I and like a realization after watching one of those underground stuff just a few weeks ago. I used to feel bad. I used to feel used to make me think I'm really going to be I'm really going to feel bad when I have to shoot at some of these fuckers. And after watching that particular series of outbursts, I said, "Nah, I don't feel bad anymore. They've got it coming." Oh, so
Yeah, it's all different. It's all strange and weird, and they're telling us what we're supposed to think and what we're supposed to do, and
mhm.
it's just and
Yeah.
people listen to them. People actually listen to them.
Apparently they think they're influencing people, and somehow they always keep saying, "Well, we our last campaign gathered up $250 million." Well, shit's coming from somebody. It sure isn't coming from me, but
Oh, well, people listen to the news, and they think that they're telling them the truth, and they're telling them what's going on, and
mhm.
all they're doing is telling you who to vote for. It screwed them with Trump, definitely, because they sure didn't want him because he wasn't one of the boys. He wasn't in the club. They didn't want him to
Mhm.
sit with them,
Mhm.
and it backfired. So, buddy, they really ramped it up. They hid stuff. They hid him. They hid news. They hid all kinds of stuff. They did nothing but just they told you what to think.
Yes.
And then we went from well, before he was elected, we were all deplorables. Was that what Hillary was calling everybody that was for Trump?
I think she came up with that particular
She was the creator of the
a
deplorables.
basket of deplorables.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that was them. And of course, it's like that's like anybody that gets into some kind of political discussion and they can't think of something else to say, they do a personal attack.
Well,
And that's what she did, and
yes.
buddy, it steamrolled.
Yeah,
And then of course they're doing it again too. Now anybody that is a Republican, you don't even have to be for Trump. You can just be a Republican, and you're racist, white supremacist. What else? Bigoted, piece of shit. I think they just didn't say piece of shit.
Bigoted, sexist, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, sexist. Yeah, I forgot
I
about
think
that.
most of the Republicans I know that are card carrying Republicans, they aren't that different from me, And I'm certainly, although I'm a registered Republican, because their primaries are so much more fun. The Democratic primaries in the state and local races are like the differences between two slices of bread in the same loaf. Now the Republicans, now there's some drama there. Yeah, one guy that wants to burn down the state house, and another guy that wants to build a factory to build wacko gizmos. There's so much more there's so much more drama there than there is over picking two slices of bread out of the same loaf. No fun.
It's pretty funny. I mean, we need to get rid of all of them and start all over again. Maybe we need to replay that. We need to have that show, Designated Survivor, to play out in real life. That would. Have you seen that show?
No, you told me about that show, and I have yet to dig it out of the archives and watch it. But I promise I will. One of these
Yeah,
days.
you sound about like me whenever Neutron sends me a new movie idea, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that to the add to watch list. And I think I've watched 2 he sent me out of 50. Bless his heart. I mean, he does try.
Well,
But,
I've got turned around to a couple of relative. One that you pointed. I think you pointed it out to me. Dark Sky.
Yeah, because that was pointed to me, but I didn't care for that much.
Okay.
The movie or the show?
The show.
Okay.
The
I
series.
couldn't get into it. I tried.
Oh,
Outer Range was one
What's
that I guided you to. Did
maybe
you ever do
okay. Maybe I got the two confused.
with the big hole that
No,
opened up
I
in the
did.
ground?
I did. I absolutely did.
That's a great show.
Outer Range that you pointed out to me was very good, and I tried to get you to. I was the other way around. I tried to get you to watch Dark Sky, and and it is a complicated show, but Outer Range is complicated as heck. I never did figure out. I think they decided that they were going to do a second season. I hope so.
They're going to do a second one.
End of the first season, I was saying, what the hell just happened? Where's everybody? What's going on?
That whole show is a train wreck, and you can't look away from it.
Yes,
because they do stuff in that movie that you don't see in other shows. They do stuff in those shows that you don't see in other shows. Like, I mean, these people like killed somebody and owned up to it later on. And usually families keep all of that hidden forever. And it was like, oh, the guy really deserved it. So why, That's the bad part of me. It's like, well, he kind of deserved it. So maybe, just sweep it under the rug and let's move on to the next. But I'm trying to find Designated Survivor. I was going to tell you it only aired for 3 seasons.
Okay.
And I could see why it needed to end because they couldn't get it. But it's oh, Kiefer Sutherland plays Thomas Kirkman, and he is the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development to the President of the United States.
Okay.
And they took him, and then there was another one that they took. And anytime there's a State of the Union,
Right.
that they put one way far away someplace else and one somewhere else. So in case something like that happens,
Mm-hmm.
you've got somebody alive. And then the Capitol building explodes. There's one senator, I think, or a congressman that survives
Mm-hmm.
out of all that. But all of a sudden, Kirkman is the president of
Okay.
the United States, like in 2 seconds after
Yes.
the Secret Service comes rushing in. They grab all their phones, they close all the window I mean, they just protect them because they
Mhm.
don't know what's happened, but yeah. So it's very interesting, but by the 3rd season, it's like, okay, it's just not worth watching anymore.
I don't know. So you're ready for the Great Reset.
Yes.
Oh, I mean that's the new catchphrase for it.
Is that what it's called now?
Unfortunately, the one that everybody's afraid of is the one where they just take off the disguises and the reptilians stand up in front of the screen and say, "We're in
It could
charge now."
happen.
You know?
It could happen,
Because that's
you know?
the Great Reset. Um, I
I
don't
don't know. It's gotta stop. It's gotta change. I mean, it's not going anywhere but downhill with
know.
all of
Well,
it.
yeah, we're in a slump kind of right now. Now I'm not sure why that is. But if you look back along history, we've been in slumps before, you know, uh, and we'll come out of it. So maybe this is just part of the confusion that breeds the necessary ideas to actually make things work, make things better. Okay, I try to hope so because I'm tired of being. Uh, there was a cartoon character in Little Abner. He was a guy that walked around with a big black cloud, followed him wherever he went. I don't want to be that guy anymore.
It's like Eeyore from Winnie the
Yes,
Pooh.
yes, that them too. That's
Yeah,
probably where Joe Cap got the idea.
really. Probably. Yeah, Eeyore was cute. But yeah, I mean, and so many people are that way now, and then plus they have to be on antidepressants or
Yeah.
anti-anxiety medicine, and is it your environment? Was it the nutrition? Was it, what is it? What is it? Is there shit in our food that's not supposed to be? Of course,
Mhm.
people eat out all the time now. I mean, McDonald's, what was it that you could
The-
take a McDonald's sausage biscuit just or hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and it doesn't mold. It just dries up.
That's
It does not mold.
that is some that is some that is some
And we
special.
eat
That is
that
some
stuff.
special. I don't eat that stuff.
No, I don't either, but
Oh,
I'm just saying, us
Um,
as Americans, we eat it.
but yes, obviously somebody's eating it,
Mhm.
and kind of shocked, but perhaps not as shocked as I should be at just how little home cooking is done these days.
Don't have
Okay,
time.
and that's the big thing. And the other things is the fragmentation of families.
Mhm.
Kids are going here, the wife's over here, we're working this, and people eat alone. You know, or you grab something and stuff it in your face, and that's good enough. I guess it's important to, and that's something that is a necessary part. Go on. A necessary part of our socialization. To learn again, relearn how to be um, cordial to each other, how to have an argument without getting out of hand. All those things are important things for the kids to learn. Okay, because you see that so much now, and the lack of that's mean. I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say lack of social skills among young people now, but I can't say that. I can't prove that, so I'm not going to go there. But
No,
it
and
looks that
they
way
still
sometimes.
do.
It's true.
They still have social skills.
I was an asshole when I was a teenager. I was certainly an asshole too. But
I grew into being an asshole. I think
yeah,
it's hereditary on my
mhm,
dad's side of the family.
yes,
Well,
yes.
no, we all got it from somewhere, just saying, because my brother's up there, I'm up there, my sister's not,
Hmm.
kinda. She's not like we are. And
Okay.
my son, God love him. He's one. He can wear that proud.
Yeah.
But it just kind of comes from I don't know. I think it's more age than it is anything. Because I can remember, I mean, I've just let people just walk over me. They say whatever and just go on, and I just let it roll off your back. And you just, okay, their day's a whole lot worse than what mine is. And this is how they're going to behave and stuff. And I don't know. It was really kind of within the last month or two.
Hmm.
I'm like, you know what?
You're a little late developing those boundaries, dear.
Well, I mean, it's one of the it's that situation you get into. It's like, okay, I understand this person's hurting. So, and I've got to
Right.
I kind of need to tiptoe around that situation. And so you kind of do, but then it's like just in the past month or two, it's like I'm done.
Yeah.
Don't yeah, I'm kind of done. And even at work, I had put up
Hmm.
with a certain situation for 3 or 4 or 5 months now, and I was
Yeah.
like, "You know what? I'm done."
Yeah.
And
There's
if
so much. There's so much of this
can't
stuff
do it anymore.
that's, and we've talked about this on the show before. Over the past, what is it? 2.5? Is it 2.5 years now since the COVID came in? Yeah. Uh, it has definitely changed the face of the world. I think and like like they're saying now. They were making a big. Fox News is making a big deal. Oh, Biden said COVID's over.
Honey, it's not just
Okay,
Fox News
you,
that's
you
saying
can
it, it's
say
freaking
anyway.
everywhere.
All that whole left wing, that whole right wing side is saying it can't be over. It's not allowed to be over yet. Wait a minute. You were the ones were saying, we're 6 months ago, we're saying it was all fake. It didn't exist.
We're
Now you're saying,
we're
what
making fun
it's
of
more.
him. We're
It's not.
having a ball at this shit.
I know. I know.
We're having a ball with it. I mean, some of the shit that comes out of his mouth, it's like, "What? Huh?" We did that with Trump. It was like, would you just shut up? Would you quit
Oh,
talking?
oh,
Just quit talking.
yeah.
That's all we want you to do is
And
quit
and
talking.
he still gets. He had a nice
And he's
crowd
he's still talking.
he had a nice crowd in Youngstown on Saturday, I guess.
I don't follow that mess. I don't follow any of that, but I do get tickled at the fact that when they put whatever it is that Biden's trying to say, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gibberish, and it's okay,
Yeah.
whatever. But when he was in London, and the 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 whole crowd there was yelling "fuck Joe Biden," cracked me up.
London. When did this happen?
I think it was London. I think it was London. But anyway, wherever his car was going, they were chanting
Okay.
it, and I was like, man, I can remember football games were doing this. The crowd was doing it, and it
Mm-hmm.
would be just as funny to me if it had been Trump or Obama or Bush or whoever. It doesn't matter. It cracks me up. Number one, because they're not being silenced. That came over all of the football games, whatever.
Well,
They didn't turn the mics off. They were letting them be heard, and that's what's supposed to happen. That's
okay.
what's supposed to happen. But the bad part is on social media, it's censored. You only get to see what they think you're supposed to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could probably post a picture of a mothership above my house, and they would censor it. They would take it off and call it fake news. Well, no, if it's sitting right there and it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
whatever their narrative is. It doesn't matter whether it's the truth or not. It's their narrative. So what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people quit talking about it. Anything. I have
Yeah.
maybe 200 followers on Twitter. I don't care.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
don't really post a whole lot of stuff. I post some really cool storm clouds and stuff that come through or whatever, but I mean, your opinion really doesn't matter when it comes down to it. It's just whatever the media is telling you you're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Yeah.
Um,
I just looking.
what you looking for, Charles?
My head. I'm saying,
Well, it's up your ass, sweetie. That should be able to find it real easy.
oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, you left that
You
door
know,
open and I just
I
had to come
know.
in and shut it for you.
I did my medical duty yesterday, and I got my pneumonia shot and my flu shot for this year. Yeah, I'm tough. I can handle it. No problem. Don't worry about it. Just put one in each shoulder. Then I got up this morning. This is not
With
good.
two sore shoulders.
Two
Yeah, that would do it.
Both sore shoulders, Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'm good for a year now. I don't have to do any more for a year.
Hey, now, did they ever do the 5-year pneumonia
That's
shot?
the
Did
one.
they ever
That's
come
the
up with
one.
that?
That. Well, actually, this is supposed to be like a lifetime pneumonia shot.
Kind of like our
I think the one I
polo
had like
and
7 years ago was the 5-year,
gotcha.
and it's worked
Okay,
so far.
okay.
So
How do
I'll
you know? Did you used
well,
to get
there's been
pneumonia a
enough
lot?
around, and I've had enough respiratory ailments of several times that didn't quite make it to pneumonia. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so let me tell you something encouraging.
sure.
My mother's had the pneumonia shot or
Mhm.
whatever, and she's got a little bit of pneumonia in her lung. So just there
Well,
you go.
the thing is,
There you
it's
go.
it's supposed to Well, look, I took as soon as it became available. I took the COVID vaccine,
Mhm.
and so it would have been December of last year. I got freaking COVID. Of course, it was a very mild case, which it might not have been otherwise. I'm convinced of that. But eh, you know, there's no absolutes in anything, especially these days. Depends on which which did you get yours from the first shot out of the vial or the 10th shot out of the vial. It might make a difference, might not. Who cares? I'm still waiting for.
Right.
Okay, so they've had like probably close to 200 million people have got the shot by now. I don't know where they're hiding all the bodies. you know.
They finally quit talking about, okay, so if Biden does say that the pandemic's over, we don't have anything to worry about.
Yep.
Okay. Then we shouldn't have anything to worry about, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
They just authorized
So,
a $2 billion follow-up whatever booster program. So, okay.
if it's over, then why do we need another booster?
I don't know.
How many is this?
Because
Oh, but we beat Big Pharma, dude. We beat
Yeah.
Big Pharma.
oh, please don't.
Let's
don't
talk
tell
out
me.
of
I'm
the politicians are
There's just
wonderful
layers and
about
layers
talking
and
out of both
layers
sides of their
and
mouth
layers of
of bullshit.
yes, absolutely.
hmm
Um,
So yeah, I was going to say the CDC hadn't changed anything. If we've whooped it and we don't need it, there's no more
Well,
pandemic. We don't need any more shots.
who has the ultimate authority?
Well, apparently the CDC
Biden
does
or
because
oh
that's
my
what
God,
everybody seems to follow.
or the CDC or the World Health.
Oh yeah. The World Health, the WHO, World Health
World Health
Organization.
Who? Not no no
They're-
not the
Yeah.
rock band. The Who. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Or
United.
maybe
United.
maybe it is Doctor Who.
Well, or Dr. Evil, one or the other. But
Yeah.
what is it? The United Nations Organizations, World Health Organization. Uno who?
Oh God. Okay. I don't know who.
I can't take credit. I can't take credit for that. That was on the
who's on first.
what's on second.
Abbott and Sanus or Abbott and Costello or same difference.
Yeah. God, that was so much fun. That was when people laughed. And was it even in the 70s that people laughed at, politicians could laugh?
At themselves.
And at each other.
Yes. Yes.
I wish I could remember this lady's name. And anyway, it was a reporter that asked Senator, Congressman, I don't know who she was, but they said, what would you do if you found yourself in the Lincoln bedroom, like as a guest to the White House? And it may not even have been she said, I would apologize to the first lady and I would leave immediately. And that was funny. That was funny. Because they were trying more to make it a political thing, and she made it a joke. And they don't do that anymore. They're not allowed to laugh at each other or make jokes.
It's like blood sports now, Every move is life or death. Every misspoke, every stumble, every bit of toilet paper stuck to your shoe is out there forever. So yeah, it's and that makes it. I don't know. I certainly, but they're handling it like it's like that makes it important, and apparently it does. But if somebody walked, if a world leader walked out there and said, "So what?" I think that would be
That would lighten the mood a lot.
It would be so refreshing. It would be so unusual now to say, yeah, I did. I was wrong. So what? Oh my God. People would like be cheering from high places all over the world, but that's just not in the cards, it seems.
We need laughter again, and that's been removed.
Mm-hmm.
And even comedians.
Well, it's all about taking yourself too seriously. Placing your dignity above your. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more important to be dignified than it is to be truthful, or even,
right.
Caring.
Right.
No, I must protect my. Oh my God, I must protect my reputation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dude,
it's crazy.
If you're worried about protecting your reputation, you already have one. You already have one, and it's not good.
Right.
Protect it.
That's exactly right.
It needed protecting a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is. It's just sad. I mean, we've lost even comedians now. They have to be careful of the jokes they tell or how they tell it.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be that way. I mean, if you can't make fun of other people
Well, they
anymore.
used to have the Comedy Channel. Is it gone?
No, Comedy Central. No,
Okay,
it's still there, but it's ridiculous.
Yes. Well, the thing I was getting at really is they used to have comedy shows on network TV. Okay. I'm thinking that was a variety show.
Do you remember when they used to have the Improv?
Oh yes, yes. Those
was a huge.
But
those were great.
And it's all about the Smothers Brothers. They actually got in trouble for their political humor at one time.
Yeah. And shouldn't have.
No, absolutely not. But I think that was like the first one to be deplatformed. So, oh my God.
Well, okay. So, but the Comedy Central used to have, was it Stephen Colbert?
Okay.
And he was hilarious there in the beginning, but then after a while, I mean, he was getting vicious. My mom even watched that show and would laugh at the stuff he'd come up with.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, man, he got vicious, and his show went away, and there was something, I don't know, there's Sarah Silverman, I think, tried to do some kind of political whatever, but I mean, it's what they did and what they shouldn't have done. They didn't make fun of everybody. They picked one person to make fun of and would base or party or whatever you want to call it, and then they would just. That's where they make their mistakes. If you can sit up there and you can make fun of everybody.
Yes.
That's
they're
the fun.
Then they're deserving of being made fun of. Because if we allow them, if we allow them to take themselves so seriously,
Mm-hmm.
it's not good for anybody. You know, they have to keep
Right.
them human. You know, you're
Yes.
not you're not an ideal whatever that is all then to be all that you can be. No, you're just another person, you're just another two-bit politician. You know, the fact that you're winning, um, you won the last election isn't enough. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
What?
Somehow no, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I just got this. That just popped
I
up.
did that. I typed it.
Oh, I said, how the hell? I didn't do that.
Charles,
Okay.
I'm the one that's drinking.
Oh my God. I need
I should have that.
apparently I need a couple.
Apparently.
But I'll admit that absolutely. That's been my mind all day. So apparently those two shots I had yesterday probably dropped my IQ about 110 points. I'm just barely,
Have you ever taken?
I'm just barely above.
Have you ever
6 level.
taken an IQ test?
Not lately, no.
Like
Yes.
ever? Not.
Yes, I had.
I've never taken one.
When did those go out of fashion?
70s?
Probably.
80s?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, they were a big thing back in the up until the mid 60s, I think. That they don't have. Then they started teaching to the test, and I'm not directly back to an IQ test, but then they came up to the schools have to teach these things, blah blah blah, and because these are going to be on the grades, the test.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the year, then they started teaching to the test, which means they totally destroyed history, math, because those things are about understanding. Heaven forbid,
Comprehension.
heaven forbid, literature and music and art and all the things that you need to have some comprehension of.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. They're gone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We're teaching the 3 R's and let it go with that: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay.
They don't really teach it.
And you're not teaching those. You know, you're teaching to the test. You know.
Right. They're teaching the kids how to test. This is what's going to be on the test, and this is what you're going to need to pass. And thank God they did that after I got out of high school. But I'm trying to think. There was one test that I took in high school, and a lot of the people did, and I don't even remember what it was called.
Okay.
You didn't have to take it if you didn't want to, but
SAT.
It was no.
Like for college. Okay.
That didn't really become enforced that that you had to take the SAT until I was in college. Okay. But I can remember it was telling you what your line of work was going to be when you got out of high school. Okay. What was it? Was that the ACT?
Oh, God. Might have been,
Aptitude.
But I can remember having taken one of those tests when the military recruiter came to high school. Okay, and they did a test to say what kind of placement you would be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But it was the same. It was the same kind of test. It's the same test.
Correct.
That's what you're interested in, where your talents lie on, and yeah.
I think what drove me crazy, it was like, I think it was like telling you, a lot of the kids took it as, this is all you're good enough for. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
It was almost like a limit. And I can remember some of the kids getting it as like, well, this is saying this is all I'm good for.
Ah. Huh.
They didn't have anybody to say, no, no, no. These are your skills as of right
The
now
day.
that you are
Yes.
good
Yes.
at and that you can fine tune later.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody explained that to anybody. And I can remember she was like a straight A student, and it was like telling you you're just going to be a clerk for the rest of your life or whatever. She was devastated,
That would be.
devastated. And I don't think anybody, I mean, maybe somebody did. This is a girl I've never kept in
Mhm.
touch with, but because hers was smart and I is not. But um, I thought, oh wow, how horrible is that? I mean, these are people that are thinking that they're going to be professors or they're going to be scientists or
I do remember a test like that, but I can't put together when it disappeared. You're probably
Mhm.
about right, probably about the right time, but still, and it was just a dumb, just like the actual IQ test. The IQ test
Right,
means absolutely nothing. You know
right,
the
right. I mean, if I took one and I don't know what are the questions on it? Do you remember?
IQ test. Oh my god, I have no idea.
I
I
mean, what was it asking you how to the show Quantum Leap actually worked, or could that ever happen? Or
no,
I mean,
no, nothing that
okay.
simple.
It didn't ask you how MASH ended or
No,
something,
no, no.
Okay. Okay.
There's very little of that kind of stuff on those tests. Oh my god. The Yeah.
I mean, common sense. There was a girl that grew up across the road. I knew her let's see, when we
Mhm.
moved in over here, she was 7 years old. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. Had no coordination, had no common
Those two
sense.
things tend to go together a little bit.
No common sense at all. And
I have
which
also.
was really scary.
Yes.
And I was like, thank God I'm dumb because I think I could survive something, you know.
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
I mean, she's a sweet girl. Sweet. I mean, she's grown up, got 2 kids right now, but it's like and she's a school teacher, which really scares the hell out of me. But, because she's one of those with those high-strung political views.
Hmm.
She doesn't want you to even have a different opinion than her.
Hmm.
But, anyway, I was just like, they breed, you know? Which we all need smart people. God knows we need smart
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
but we need ditch diggers too. And that doesn't mean
Hmm.
that you're stupid if you
And
do a labor job.
yes.
But
Uh,
they've trained people that. I mean, they were hollering, "You've gotta go to
I
college
saw
and get
something.
a
I saw something the other day.
degree."
You know, I've seen times when I needed a plumber. I've seen times when I needed someone to cut wood, but I've never actually seen a time when I needed an
Mhm.
entertainer or a professional athlete. You know? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
of course, I'm a woman, and I know there's professional athletes that are women, but they don't make near the money.
no.
Nowhere near the money that the men do.
Mhm.
So I should have been born a 6'5", 245-pound man that could catch a football.
Yeah.
But
If you want
actually, I think if I
if
was
you
that
wanted
tall, I would need to
an
weigh about
easy,
300.
yeah. Well, that would have been your ticket to the easy money. But I've always thought, out of the, I don't know, I assume tens of thousands of high school football players, how many actually make it to the pros?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the law. It's the odds are like the
It's
lottery.
ridiculous.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so and
It's
I've seen.
ridiculous.
I knew people then. People got really hurt. You know, with stuff that bothered them for years, and oh well, bring the next one up off the bench, and that was it. You know, I'm saying, I wouldn't want to keep doing this.
Well, I can remember. Okay, so when my son played football, and it's for a small county high school,
Mhm.
and I mean, they had a ball. They had a great year. They went undefeated, all this wonderful stuff. That hadn't happened up here in 25 years in this little school. Little school. My son, at the time that my son was a senior, um, my brother lived in, oh gosh, it's down there where Texas A&M is. Stonewood, is that right?
Okay, see.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah.
that he lived down in there, and they were going to have a football camp. They always have a football camp there at Texas A&M. And I tried to beg my son to go to that. And my son refused. And I tried to get his coach to talk him into going. And his coach looked at me and he's like, "Do you think your son's a D1 player?" And I was like, "No, but you tell me whenever he's going to have another opportunity to go to Texas A&M
Mhm.
to be around D1 players
Mhm.
and maybe even just go to college down there." I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
because my brother lived down there and he could have lived with my brother, but I was like, but they thought I was ridiculous. And my son was like, "I am not going down there to football camp around a bunch of D1 players to get my ass handed to me." And I kind of get it. I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But my thing was, it's an opportunity for you to do something you ain't never going to do.
Yes. Yes.
And who knows? He could have picked up on something that would have helped him just a little bit more,
Mhm.
even though their season was perfect up here.
Mhm.
But still, I don't know. It's we get
Yeah.
intimidated,
It's not right to put limitations on people
right?
because
But we do ourselves all the
yes,
time.
that was the second part of that. You know, the limitations we put on ourselves are far too many. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
and uh, why do we do that?
Mhm.
Fear. You know,
Yeah.
we're afraid we'll be embarrassed. We're afraid somebody will laugh at us. Good grief! Hey, that's the other
Mhm.
side of the coin. If you can't be the if you can't be the football player, you can be the entertainer. People laugh at you. Oh my God,
Yes,
that's good too.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Chat's having a good time without us. Just saying.
Apparently, I saw Ron's got a pirate flag.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But yeah. Yeah, I've already
Yeah.
told you I'm bringing Dean Martin back on this.
Oh
And
man.
that's something else. And I can remember, when did they stop? Was it in the 80s? Nobody was allowed to be shown smoking on TV
I
anymore?
think it was like before that. I think it was like middle 70s.
Oh, that was like
And,
around
and
Three's Company
oh,
and stuff like that.
I guess I think the way to find that would be to look up the last. But didn't they take tobacco and beer off the like Super Bowl at the same time?
That was in the 80s,
Okay, they must have taken the
late
tobacco
80s,
before.
actually,
Yeah,
because I can remember when all those advertisements were in magazines and stuff when I was in high
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Joe Cool, the camel,
They're cool. Marlboro Man.
Marlboro, man, he was good looking. He spent all his time riding horses.
So,
Oh, so I got this was interesting. I
Oh,
got my coupons from Marlboro in the mail
uh-huh.
the other day, and I opened it up. Of course, they've always got a picture and stuff on there. And it was they had a cowboy hat on. They were down, and all this hair was hanging down, and I was like, "What the fuck? They've got a long-haired cowboy? That ain't happening." And then I was like, "Oh no, that's a woman."
Okay.
So the Marlboro man has turned into a chick that you can't see her face because her hair's down and her hair's all the way down. And you really can't tell that she's a woman because you can't see boobs. But that was
Mm,
the only conclusion that I could come to.
hmm.
So the Marlboro man has turned into a woman, and I'm not happy.
Ooh. Uh,
Maybe it's a
Sexual,
transgender
sex,
thing.
transgender product placement.
It's a guy actually with really long, pretty hair.
Hmm.
And they didn't let me see his face because he probably still has a beard and mustache.
Well, maybe she had a beard mustache.
She could have. I have to fight mine a lot. And that's what happens when you fucking get old. Menopause sets in and
Oh
hair
my,
starts growing in fucking places that it never did before, and then it disappears where it's supposed to be, and I'm just,
nothing
damn it,
done.
Eve, that bitch, damn snake in an apple.
Mhm.
But you know what? It never did say what kind of snake it was.
Hmm.
Maybe that was a metaphor. Maybe there was another man hidden in the Garden of Eden,
Well,
and they were referring to
apparently
something
there were
else.
quite a few hiding. Yeah, that were or not. What would they be? Non-cast players.
Exactly. Oh,
Uh,
this part hit the editing floor. Sorry, we can't
yeah,
get that
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We only
So
need
yeah,
we only need two people for this scene. The rest of you just stay the hell over there.
exactly. But hey, you with the snake, come here. We
Oh,
need
by
you.
the way, Snake. Yeah, yeah.
Slither on in,
We
son.
got a small cast, small role for you in this. But
That's
no
what it was.
return, no
We have it
returns.
figured out. Yeah, we have it figured out, Charles. That's what it was. It was the production was screwed up. I don't know. I can come up with some good stuff every once in a while. Not often.
Oh my. Well, let me see.
Andy's down here talking about Harry
There
Berry
you go.
belly buttons.
I can't.
Told you I'm turning into Dean Martin
Seems to me there was a drink.
or two,
There definitely. Yes.
and it's early.
Mhm.
I've still got
I swear,
2 hours before bedtime.
every time you bring up that Dean Martin thing,
Hmm.
there's like just the beginning of a tune that he sang that pops into my head, and I can't quite grip it, to say figure out what it was. I'll have to make it. I will find it eventually. I find everything eventually. Sometimes it takes years, but I usually I find things eventually.
Yeah, well, this is true. I'm trying to think. There's the one song, okay, that I got to play. My dad played Dean Martin. He played Louis Armstrong. He played
Mhm.
all of that stuff. And I wanted my child to have that,
Sure.
to to know what his grandfather used to listen to and things like
Mhm.
that. And the one song that I found that got his interest was Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr., and it was called Dean's Song.
Okay.
And you have to look it up because it was pretty funny because Dean Martin it was supposed to be called Sammy's Song or Sam's Song, and Dean wouldn't acknowledge him, and there was some racist stuff that was brought in there that was freaking hilarious. Stuff we can laugh about, but I mean, if they were alive, they
Oh
would
my.
be cancel culture on there.
There you. Yeah.
Nothing. It wasn't anything major racist. It was just a few names that were said
Mhm. Oh,
in reference to stuff like that. But anyway, it's that got his attention. Of course, my son's name is Dean, so that helped. But um, anyway, there's a lot of stuff that Dad used to listen to that I still like to listen to.
mhm.
Like I said, the old jazz, the big bands.
It's.
Glenn Miller, his collection with
Mhm.
Glenn Miller was
Oh yeah. Yeah.
huge. So yeah, it's all
Okay.
pretty and I try to stay that. And my nephew, my brother's son,
Mhm.
um, my dad ended up buying because the 8 tracks and the record players started coming back. So Dad bought another record player, so
Okay.
he could listen to. I mean, he kept everything. He kept all of
Oh,
his albums, all of his little singles, all of that. So when my dad passed away, my nephew came and got the recorder and all of his vinyl collection.
mhm.
And I think that's amazing because I mean, he's in his 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and dad was he was 85, I believe, when he passed
Oh
away.
my.
So, I mean, that's a huge difference. But the interest
Yeah.
was still there.
So did he have any 78s?
No,
The
that
big
he didn't.
78 platters?
He never
I,
did have those.
my my mom and my grandma had those. You know. You know, and the LP 45s. But some of those old 78s. My God, to have those now,
Oh my
just
God, you could sell them for a fortune.
yeah.
But now the cassettes, I still have a lot of cassettes from
Hmm.
the 80s. Um, but there's something about them, and I can't remember what it is with them. But now it's like when you play them,
Hmm.
it's got kind of a little bit of a high-pitched squeal to it.
Okay.
The ones that you played the most often.
Right.
Now the ones that you didn't play very much don't have that. So
Hmm.
there was something about that repeated play that kind of messed up some of those.
Okay.
But and Dad's 8-track collection went
Oh my.
home with my nephew as well. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, it's just it's wonderful to still see people have appreciation for
Yes.
old
Yes.
music.
Yeah. That's the thing when you're
Mm.
a collector of something and you save it because you love it. To see that it goes to someone else who can appreciate it, that makes it all worthwhile. You know.
I had a customer of the bank that I worked at that came in one day and brought me all of his Iron Maiden albums.
Oh my God.
And the reason he did that was because, and I mean, gosh, I was a huge Iron Maiden fan.
Hmm.
And my mother absolutely hated it because I had every Eddie poster, and anybody that's an Iron Maiden fan knows who Eddie is. But I had all of them, and they were over all of that beautiful decorating, wallpaper, paint, anything that she had, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And but and I wish I had still had those posters
Mhm.
because the detail in those posters were crazy. I mean, you could take
Yes.
like a magnifying glass and go
Mhm.
over, and you would find separate little characters or
Mhm.
different little
Yes.
meanings or sayings or something
Mhm.
in all of that. And man, those were awesome. But anyway, they were just paper and they got tore down and thrown
Thrown
away
away.
by my mother, along with my Russia sucks bumper sticker. There you go, Justin. Got to keep that. I mean, those things are almost indestructible, so it's like you got to keep them.
Well, yeah. You kind of tuned them with a hammer.
Yeah. And
They-
the cassette tapes, whenever they got all pulled out, you had to get a pencil so you could
yeah,
like roll them
yeah.
back in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those.
Good times. Good times. Oh my gosh, we've almost gone an hour and a half,
Almost
Charles.
8 o'clock. Almost 8
Mhm.
o'clock.
So we kind of need to, maybe we need to get a structure about ourselves
We're
or
gonna that's something we're gonna be working on. We talked
good.
about
I'm glad
that, and we talked
you're going to work on
about
it.
we talked about the possibility of having guests. So
Yeah. Oh, and Justin said he would be one.
yes, I
Mhm.
do.
You remember that?
I
Yeah.
didn't hear that, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Oh, I think
What-
I can take a snapshot of a text
Ooh,
message or
there you
something.
go. So we
Yeah.
can definitely bring him in. Look forward.
Yeah,
to
he
that.
said give him 2 weeks, but I think he's going to back out and make it a month or 2.
That's okay. We got time. We'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and of course we need Andy.
Andy has been of great service to us, Mike. He did a new graphic for me, and he volunteered to do a new graphic for me for SurvivorCircle, and very nice one too. So
I actually think he has
I
a crush on you,
don't
Charles.
have the software to do that anymore, and number two, I just don't have the talent to do it.
I don't
You
have
know?
the talent.
That's like
I don't have the patience.
I used to mess around a little bit with Photoshop, but I've forgotten all the commands. And if you can't do it with the keyboard commands, and you're scrolling through net, you're just forget it. You're done. You know, you'd be forever trying to do something. And most of what I did was so absolutely basic and simple, you know.
Right.
But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Simple's the best or the quickest or whatever, but I just think it's because Andy's got a crush on you, and maybe that's the reason why he did it for you. I don't know. I'm just saying.
he's probably lucky he's over there mourning the queen. You'll have to take it easy this week.
Oh my gosh. I think he's about to vomit. I think he's kind of ready for all that to be over with. Think he's kind of done.
Mm.
Kind of like the rest of us.
Oh my! I know. I'm not gonna bring that up.
But I get it. I mean, we'll never see a queen again in our lifetime, Charles.
Unlikely. It would have to be like the sole survivor kind of situation.
Designated survivor.
I don't know. Designated survivor. I don't know.
Oh yeah, how would that work? Because we've got
Charles,
Charles.
William.
Okay, so
that's the
wait a minute,
line of ascension goes to William.
goes to William, and then it goes to his oldest. You know what? Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Somebody over there is going to have to call me on that because
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Would you have Andy? Would you have the king call and then let us know? Then George. Okay. Yeah. Then George.
To us uncultured Americans. Then George.
Which we're
Another
still kind of
George.
fascinated. Yeah, another George.
Don't they outlaw any
Then
of those?
and then Charlotte. Damn, we're gonna be so dead before all of these are gone through.
Hey, we'll maybe we'll be there in our next life or the one after that.
Maybe. We'll see. I think we're kind of done, Charles. It's 7
I
o'clock.
think
It's been
we
an hour and a
have
half.
successfully navigated our first show on this platform, and it wasn't all it could be, but it was what it was.
You know, we will probably be more structured. I don't know when we're going to work on that because we're just
I
kind
don't
of
think structure.
on the fly right now,
I don't think structure is going to be our strong point.
unfortunately.
Oh,
But I need structure in my life. I'm kind of like, are we going to do news? Are we going to do para news? Are we going to do bullshit news
okay.
behind that? Whatever. What are we going to do? Mm.
We just have to work it out and see where our talents lie.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad everybody found us.
Yes,
I mean,
or
Oofy
some of you,
found us.
or most of you,
Andy.
or because I did not intend this to be the sole platform tonight, but I went to hook things up and it just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm so glad everybody made it in here tonight.
Me too. Very much.
Definitely good.
Venus disappeared, but yeah. Thanks, Phoebe.
Thank you, Yuffie. And everybody, have a nice may hump day treat you well. Have a nice night, and we'll be
No,
back.
I'm not humping anything. Don't even say that.
Hump days. Day's coming up. It's not Tardy Tuesday. Yeah. So thank you all for being here, and we will try to come back with maybe more structure next week. Good night, Ann.
Cheers.